Hey, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Alex, and I create content based around trading card games. In today's video, I'll be talking a little bit about the recently leaked details about Disney's Lorcana, including rules and some of the products that are coming up. I hope you'll stick around and join the conversation down in the comments. Alright, if you didn't see the last video, I will link it in the description below and throw a little link up top there. A little bit of a recap. So, on Monday, April 10th, an article from Game Trade magazine was leaked online. It is the front page article for their May edition, number 279, and it talks about Disney Lorcana. It includes terminology, a breakdown of the card anatomy, and some products that are coming, as well as some basic rules and information regarding the game and events. Alright, so I wanted to talk about the products first and foremost. Coming up first, we have playmats. Now, playmats are wonderful in my opinion. So, we've got Maleficent Maui and Steamboat Willie Mickey confirmed so far. Those are really exciting. I kind of really want the Maui and the Steamboat Willie myself, so I'm really hoping I can get those. We've got card sleeves and deck boxes, and they all have the same themes. The ones that are confirmed at this point are Elsa, Mickey, and Hook. Same thing for the deck boxes. And finally, we have portfolios, which some people will call binders. They're the ones with the sheets that you put the cards in. We have two binders confirmed. We have Stitch and the Evil Queen from Snow White. I don't know if she even has a name, but she's like, the villain from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Alright, let's talk about what I think is probably the most exciting part of this leak. The rules. First and foremost, this is in order of where they appear in the article. The game's objective is to be the first player or Illumineer to reach 20 lore wins. What's a lore win? We'll get into that later. The decks will be 60 card decks, so similar to constructed in Magic. And characters, items, and songs and more will be included in the game. I think this is probably referring to card types, because we already have characters, we have items, we have actions. I think songs are going to be probably similar to like enchantments or auras in Magic the Gathering. Decks can be made of up to 2 ink types, or you can use a pre-constructed deck. This is an interesting part to me because it means that you won't have this like Wooburg thing that Magic has going, where you're going to be mixing decks. But it's also not going to be limited to one color like Flesh and Blood is limited to one hero's cards. Draw size for the first hand is 7 cards, just like Magic. No information yet about mulligans. We'll see what happens. Every turn you can convert 1 card into ink, and that's where you place it in your inkwell. Which brings us to the next point. The inkwell size determines the combined cost of cards that you can cast. So on turn 1, assuming that you've converted a card into ink, you can cast a card with up to cost 1. If you wanted to know what cards can be turned into ink and what the cost of each card is, have a look at my last video where I talked about the breakdown of the card and the anatomy of what each thing means. So lore, which is identified by those lore pips, is gathered through questing. In order to quest, you must exert. If you exert, you can be challenged. But you do exert to challenge. So essentially, you're putting your characters at risk of being challenged by exerting to gain lore. So it could be almost an action economy going on there, right? You gotta balance the risk of losing your character versus gaining your lore. I'm assuming it means that if you exert for lore and they are not challenged and banished, you gain the lore win, and therefore the number of lore points identified on the card. So, like I said, exerting, you have to exert or tap if you're into Magic. You need to tap in order to challenge or in order to quest. So either way, you exert. Exerting is the only way you can be challenged, right? An exerted character that's challenging can only challenge an exerted character. And characters in challenge deal each other damage equal to their strength. Have a look at the last video I did. We talk a little bit about what the numbers on the cards mean, which one's which. Go check it out. It's a good one. So that brings us to the next point, which is damage is persistent, meaning that it doesn't clear after every turn. Magic the Gathering does not have persistent damage, whereas this game will have persistent damage tracked with counters, similar to those in Pokemon. And damage is dealt by strength to the other card's willpower. So willpower is essentially the card's health. And the last thing I wanted to talk about before I let y'all go is the other things revealed by the article. So first and foremost, for the first 12 weeks after release, local game stores will be having events and activities broken up into 3 rounds. We don't really know what the rounds consist of yet. That's still to come. You'll be able to earn league points, win or lose, by playing the game, by participating in the casual best-of-3 matchups. And through Lorcana-related activities, such as teaching a new player how to play. That's really important to me. I think it's interesting. It's a way to kickstart the community by rewarding people for bringing more people into the community. And prizes will be awarded to most participants, but those with the most points will get a, quote, modest additional prize. What that is, I'm not sure. It'll probably be similar to Magic or Flesh and Blood. You'll get extra packs or extra promo cards or maybe some sleeves. I don't know yet, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Ravensburger is really quite good about communicating with their players. And finally, Ravensburger plans for more tournaments and events in the future to give bigger opportunities to win. So, in other words, this local 12-week thing, it's not going to be the be-all, end-all of their tournament and activity and eventing. Nope, they are planning for larger, probably regional, national, and world-level events, similar to contemporaries such as Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Super, Flesh and Blood, Yu-Gi-Oh! They're diving into this industry, and they're giving it their all. I'm really excited for this. I'm so excited. I can't even tell you guys. And this information is just making my brain go, right? So I'm going to go off and I'm going to go think about this stuff. I suggest you do the same, because this is going to be really interesting when everything hits the ground. All right, and with that, the inkwell's dry. I wanted to thank you for joining me today. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell so you get a notification whenever I post another video. Next video, I will be talking about how I think these leaks and reveals will impact or inform how the game will actually be played. I'll see you in the next one, and as always, stay cozy.